Mr. Winter. That's very chic.
David, that's quite welcoming.
Mr. Winter.
So where were we lost to it Wednesday? You were here.
So everybody is going to grab themselves 2 quart blocks, a blanket, at least 1 blanket,
2
a
quarts.
foam block,
Everything.
a bolster,
Everything.
a strap,
Yes.
and a happy face. The sign of enlightenment.
Woo.
Hi!
I set it up right here.
Bigger.
So listen,
Put this in.
just focus on enjoying yourself, all right? That's the part of it is
Oh, good.
the habit, the hard
That's what Italy does to you, makes you forget what you are.
So just kind of
Or-
park your sweet breath box right in front of the bolsters.
I could move there.
Don't do anything you don't want to do.
What you are looking at? Dinner or
These
picture?
ladies have so much to say, you probably won't get a chance to say a thing.
Oh. Okay. Let's go down. Thanks.
So, a big part of what I talk about in terms of the philosophy is always, she's one of my inspirations because she will start to talk to herself through the class. So we need to stop the ongoing dialogue. Tough to do. And sometimes we even let it verbally make its presence as well, not just mentally. So let's all just come.
Can we just turn off heat?
Yes, okay.
Because it's really getting warm.
Oh, yeah, I gotta go one more.
It's off so big, but it will take a moment.
My God, I mean, you haven't been here long.
Okay, I'm zipping.
So guys, take your strap. They're gonna notice, and just take that loop. There's a loop there, and just bring it around your waist.
Yes, it is.
Around your waist.
Not important.
Get together in the butterfly position. Try and slide the strap down underneath your hip on the back, where your back is. So now you're dry. So then you tighten the strap. If you want to continue around, ruffle, Bolster. There we go. She has a happy face. Those corners want to turn up. Truly. And you don't want to touch your knees. So, we're taking the strap overhead around the waist as the prop for the pose, Baddha. We're in the supta, meaning the laying back, over either a bolster or our bricks, your choice. So I'm working to get that strap underneath the hip line in the back so that it almost touches the back of the buttocks. And the belt buckle is not on the skin. You can see that I can pull the strap toward me, which allows me to tighten the strap if my hips start to open. So we're just tinkering here. At the moment I'm working toward lining my feet up with the center. And I can take a look to see that one heel isn't higher than the other. And one hip is more open than the other. So it's important to get the heels together so that we don't progress on one side more, so that we don't reinforce an imbalance in the body. feel the center of your buttocks. And in the center, there are sits bones on either side. See if you can feel your sits bones. And we're just pressing through the four corners of the feet to start while everybody just comes into the pose. Hi. Come on in, darling. So you stragglers, just come on in. Grab yourself a mat. You're grabbing 2 cork blocks, a bolster, a strap, a foam block, a blanket, a happy face. And we're starting in our version of the supported back bend. The choice today is Supta Baddha Konasana. So we're bringing the soles of the feet together. The strap is around the feet to keep the heels together. We're starting to tinker with the feet now, looking for the outer line of the foot from the very back of your heel along that outer foot into the baby toes. And as we start to find that line of awareness, start to spread the toes wide. So we're just waking the body up in this supported back bend. So we are opening the central nervous system as we bring the spinal column into extension. And we're looking for that outer line of awareness in the feet from the outer back heel. Looking right to the very outer back heel along the outer foot into the baby toes. Working to spread the toes, to intelligize the feet. So that the feet are actively participating in the effort of the pose. You can feel the center of the buttocks. And then we can start to breathe together now. So let's take a slow, smooth inhale and take that breath right up into the upper chest. Right up into the upper collarbone area. Allow the breath to explore along the collarbone area. Following all the way through the exhale. So take your time with that exhale. Make that exhale smooth and fluid. Completely finishing that breath. Again, slow, smooth inhale. Take your time with that breath. Start to feel a sense of the side, armpit, chest lifting through that inhale. Slow, smooth exhale. Take your time with that breath. Make that exhale the same length as the inhale. Start to allow the breath to create space in the body. So let's start to breathe even more deeply now. Start to let the mind go. Start to allow the breath to be the dominant force in this effort. Fullness in the breath, feeling the breath travel freely through the body now. Feel your side ribs moving with that breath on both the inhale and the exhale. That's it. Let the breath roll freely. Don't be afraid to create a sound with the breath. Let's take the hands to the elbows and let's reach the elbows up and overhead. So we're pressing through the outer feet. And we allow the breath to come right up into the armpit chest. See if you can feel a sense of the outer forearms widening away from the center line of the body. Following through the exhale, opening through the front armpit chest. Releasing the lower ribs down towards the hips. Start to let the lower ribs release towards the pelvis. But again, we continue that sense of opening through the armpit chest as we widen from the center of the armpit out to the sides. Breathe deeply. Fullness in the breath. Allowing the body to receive the breath. Let's take the elbows back down. And let's change the clasp of the hands to the elbows. Reach the elbows up and overhead. So again, press through the outer feet. Feel the outer heels connecting as though they were one unit. Working toward all things coming together as one. Feeling that sense of togetherness, that sense of union in the body with the breath. So releasing the lower ribs down towards the hips. See if you can take that energy back up. So taking the hips towards the lower ribs, creating that union between those two areas in the body. Let's release the arms out to the T position, fingertips to the floor, pressing through your outer feet. That's inhale, lifting from the center of the buttocks, through the side body, up through the armpit chest. Feel the inhale lengthening the upper thoracic spine as the crease of the armpit chest lifts through the inhale. Continuing that effort through the exhale as you release the shoulders down away from the ears. Tightening the muscles of the upper forearms around the bones. See if you can ignite the biceps and the triceps. Tightening those muscles to the arm bones. Continuing that sense of lifting through the front crease of the armpit chest. And as the shoulders and the lower ribs drop down towards the pelvis, feel the center of the buttocks reaching towards the lower ribs. Pressing through your feet. Thighs are rolling out, so initially there's an external rotation in the inner thighs, and then we create a second action by energetically lengthening from the hip bone along the top of the thigh, out through the kneecaps. This effort will release the legs down towards the floor. Good. We're going to slowly make our way up now. So come on up. We're keeping our legs where they are. Everybody's going to move their props off the mat. We're going to come a little further forward. So hopefully your hips have opened because the strap doesn't stretch. So just scooch a little further forward. If you have a blanket and you have bony ankles, keep the feet warm is just to help support the outer ankles. And then we lay back, lay flat, and let's start to holding the outer ends of the blanket, take the legs down. Yes, darling. So it's up to you if you feel you need the blanket or not. I need a PhD in this thing, unfortunately. Scooch closer towards me so you don't bang your head. Voila. And then let's start to feel the four corners of the feet melting in towards each other. Feel the four corners of the feet connecting, surrendering, melting in towards each other. See if you can feel your inner thighs rolling out, so they're rolling away from each other, externally rotating. And then let's also feel that second action of lengthening from the hip bone along the top of the thigh out through the kneecap to release the legs down. So there's a second action. Let's repeat this effort. We're working toward creating length from the lower ribs to the hips. So the first action is the thighs externally rotate out, they roll away from each other. So we are tucking the pelvis in and under. So scoop your pelvis in and under. See if you can tuck your sit bones, scoop your tailbone, working from the center of the buttocks. Dropping the belly, dropping the lower back down towards the floor. And then there's also a second action. So these hip bones are moving away from the lower ribs by lengthening from the hip bone along the top of the thigh out through the knees to release those knees down. And the hip bones are microscopically moving away from the lower ribs to create that space in the front of the body. And as well, there is space occurring in the back from the lower ribs down towards the buttocks. So see if you can feel that sense of creating space through this whole area here, from the lower ribs and the front and back down towards the hip bones. Feeling the tops of your thighs lengthen out through the kneecaps. Working from the center of the buttocks, belly and lower back are releasing down towards the floor. Letting the breath lead the effort, so the breath performs the magic. And this gives the mind a holiday. The mind can start to let go of all responsibility here and let the breath lead the effort. And this becomes a happening and less doing. Start to feel this sense of being a witness to the effort. Feeling all of those efforts coming together as one, uniting as one giant effort in the body. That's the union or the yoga. The mind is completely present in this effort. Just a few more deep breaths. Really let the mind go. Try to allow the breath to completely take over here. The breath is the natural negotiator of space in the body. It's a neutral force, a neutral energy. Very nice. So moving slowly with your breath, we're going to start to make our way up. And then you'll see this bar, this silver bar, just slide this bar away from you and it will release the strap. Let's just cross the ankles here. So we take the strap off. And everybody close the loop of your strap a little, just so that you don't have a giant loop. We're trying to blanket back to that rectangle. Good. And then keeping the legs crossed. Let's see if you can walk your hands forward here. So again, let's go right back to the breath. Try not to allow the mind to start to take over. See if you can let your sit bones be heavy by pressing the palms actively to the floor and then allowing the inhale to lift through the crease of the armpit chest. So the belly, the sternum, the front of the body is lifting and lengthening through the inhale. Exhale, the backs of the shoulders drop down away from the ears and we're slowly bringing those lower ribs to the hips to release, hinging from the hip area. So breathe more, think less, start to let go of that ongoing dialogue now. That's the true effort here in our yoga practice, is to start to let go of that ongoing conversation with all those opinions, all those conclusions. So conclusions are limiting. They create boundaries and divisions. So we allow all things to be completely open, no thought, just the breath leading the effort. Feeling new life coming to the body through the inhale. Start to feel a sense of letting go of whatever you no longer need on that exhale. So start to explore the release that comes through the exhale. This is the body's natural tool of letting go of tension. So feel the exhale leave the body. Feel the tension leave the body through the exhale. Lower ribs to the hips. Let's slowly walk the hands back. And let's change the length of the ankles. So this will be your more awkward side. And then again, let's just hinge from the hip as we walk the hands forward. Try to keep that sense of the front of the body lifting. The belly, the sternum, the sides of the body. So we're lengthening through the side body to avoid jamming the sacrum into the lower back. We're lengthening through the sides of the spine, letting the breath create this effort. Lower ribs to the hips. And darling, feel free to straighten your legs or just have one knee bent. One knee bent is okay. Yeah, not a girl. That's it. Ooh, that's even harder, right? See if you can grip the floor with your sit bones. And then lift your belly, lift through the side, armpit, chest, lift through the sternum on that next inhale. Following through the exhale, so we keep that sense of lifting through the front, even through the exhale. It's the backs of the shoulders that release down. Slowly walk back. Good job everybody. So since the lovely and talented Linda is here, I named a pose after Linda. It's called the Linda twist. Not really.
I think it has a more official
It
name.
does have a more efficient name. Sister bar after Jessica. Okay, so let's bring the bolster so that it's lengthwise. And it is 90 degrees to your right thigh and you're on your right hip. And then we're going to fold forward. So just take a look. So I start with my right cheek. I take the right hand and drag that right sits bone away from the bolster, tucking the right sits bone in and under, and then bring your right forearm to the floor, the left forearm to the floor. Feel that sense of length through the torso. If you can go a little further, lift your head and bring your left cheek to the bolster. So if you're snorkeling the bolster, it's up to you whether you're going to bring your cheek to the right or the left. Try to let your hips be heavy as you use the breath to lift through the side of the body. Following all the way through the exhale, making that exhale the same length, the same vigor, the same effort, the same importance. So this is an axle twist for the spine. The breath creates that space. The hips ground. And then we inhale, lifting and lengthening away from the hip to create that length in the spine through this axle twist. So breathe deeply. Try not to let the mind start to talk. here, just allowing the cervical spine to reset. And then slowly press into the hands as you lift your head, lift your chest. Good job, everybody. So we're just going to do a little hip hop move here. Just lift your knees up and come over to the left hip. And then again, let's fold over. Let's take the left hand and just lengthen that left sits bone, tucking it in and under, away from the bolster. Bringing your forearms parallel to the bolster. If you can go a little further, feel free to lift and lengthen through that torso and bring your right cheek to the bolster. So let the breath lead the effort as the hips be heavy. Inhale and lengthen through the side, upper armpit, chest. So feel the creases of the armpits lifting through the inhale. And start to let those shoulders relax. So start to let those shoulders drop down away from the ears on the exhale. So the breath is what creates the movement and creates the space between the vertebrae to release the nerves. And it's a detox for the spinal column. Simply breathing. You start to feel how the pose becomes more acceptable. So over time, the body receives the pose as if it was second nature. So let's lift the head and just bring your left cheek back to the bolster if your right cheek is on the bolster. And just give it a few breaths to allow the upper cervical neck to start to feel in a more neutral place. Good job, everybody. And then let's slowly lift the head, lift the chest. So we've been in a deep twist here. So let's move the bolster off to the side. And we're going to take our blocks, our cork blocks, and bring them 3/4 of the way up the mat. And we're going to take downward dog using the ropes. Adho Mukha Svanasana. So come to standing, have your blocks at the highest level. Your ever used these before?
Well, yeah,
No worries, okay. All right, so everybody, take your right rope in your right hand, take your left rope in your left hand, let's cross the ropes, and let's take the right foot through the rope you're holding in the left hand, turning away from the wall. You got it, nicely done. Left foot through the other rope. Okay, and then let's come forward, so bring the ropes right up to the top, come forward so they're, and then let's take the hands to start, bring your heels halfway up the wall, see how wide my feet are? And then take your hands to the blocks and walk your hands forward. So we're opening the upper chest, and let's press through the heels, everybody. See if you can press through your heels now and lift the armpit chest towards the palms, pressing actively down through those palms, releasing your head down, releasing your chest. So we're working initially to open the armpit chest, working as we press the heels, reaching the armpit chest towards the palms and pressing the palms actively down into the blocks. Now we add a second counter stretch by drawing the lower ribs away from the armpit chest towards the hips. So maintain those two actions and see if you can create a sense of doing them together as one. See if you can find that union of those two opposing movements. Feeling the lower ribs draw towards the hips. Let's tuck the sits bones down towards the heels. And then we start again by actively pressing the heels to the wall, allowing the pose to unfold with the breath. Good breathing, everybody. Deep breathing is the ticket. The more you breathe, the more you activate that left prefrontal cortex of the brain. That's our feel-good center. And the more you're focusing on the breath, the less you are carrying on that ongoing life away from your yoga practice. The mind is not off somewhere else. It's right with the breath. Leading the effort, performing its magic. Good job, everybody. Let's take the hands to the floor and start to walk your hands to your feet, feet to your hands. Good job. And let's step out of our happy ropes. And since we're here, go right there. Let me know if you're
No, I'm
there.
fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
So let's take our ropes and let's just walk forward here. So try to lean into your ropes. Good. And let's press through the heels and see if you can take your sits bones down towards those heels. So grip those outer buttocks cheeks and draw them down to the heels. Lift your belly. Lift through the side, armpit chest, and feel the crease of the armpit chest lifting as you press through your heels, lifting through your kneecaps. So whenever I get into an elevator, I always grab the rail and take a stretch, if there's no one else in there.
Oh, That's why the elevators don't have any handles anymore?
They all have handles, they do.
I'm teasing.
See if you can tighten the muscles of those upper arms a little. Start to adhere the muscle to the bone. That's youth in the body. So we're just tightening the muscles all over the body around the bones. Pressing through your heels, lift through the armpit chest. Good. And then let's slowly walk back, releasing the arms. That's it. So we have a new one. Let's take the right hand like so. It's going to help us with our chair work today. We're going to place the hand between the lower ribs and the hip, but the hand can't be turning in. Turn that hand so it is completely at a 90-degree angle. That's it. And then we take that right elbow and right shoulder against the wall and start to turn out, keeping that palm. We're drawing the right elbow towards the spine, and I'm taking my left hand because it helps behind as well. And I'm scooping my sits bones, trying to start to open the shoulder, and my tendency is to drop my neck, drop my head. So try to keep a neutral gaze if you can, working that right palm so it is adjacent to the torso. And we're drawing the right shoulder and the right elbow to the wall, trying to draw that right elbow towards the spine. Tucking the sit bones in and under. Good job, and then let's release. So since we're there, if you take the right hand and place it to the wall like so, and make sure that your torso is at a 90-degree angle to your arm, and start to drop the right shoulder down, straightening the arm by tightening the muscles of the entire arm around the bone. Spread the palm wide. And then start to really stretch your fingers. Stretch your fingers. Lengthening the fingers, pressing the hand to the wall. Dropping the shoulder down. Lifting the elbow up without lifting the shoulder. So we're not here for a long time. Let's turn the hand out 90 degrees. So do your best to keep everything in line. Drop the right shoulder down, lift the right elbow, and that palm is flat and spreading as wide as it can. So drop the right shoulder and lift the right elbow. Tightening the muscles of that arm around the bone, pressing the palm flat to the wall. Release. Tension, Tension builds. Okay, let's take the left hand between the lower ribs and the hip, left elbow and left shoulder to the wall. So connect the shoulder, the elbow, keeping that hand in its position. Let's start to turn away from the wall to get that left elbow to draw towards the spine, exactly right, and and then take the right hand behind. So we're drawing the elbows together. Think about drawing your elbows together. That's it. Widening your shoulders. So open that left palm. Don't let your left palm collapse. That's the ticket. And then take that left elbow to the spine. Very nice. Breathe deeply. Full body breaths. Top your sits bones. Try not to drop your gaze. Very nice. And then let's slowly release. Let's take the left hand to the wall and create that 90-degree angle with the arm and the torso. Spread the hand as wide as you can. Press the palm flat to the wall. Drop the left shoulder down. Lift the left elbow up. So there's a second component, of course. That left forearm rolls out, and at the same time, the inner bottom arm rolls in. So we create this two-directional twist. See if you can roll the upper left forearm externally back and roll the lower forearm in. Dropping the shoulder, lifting the elbow. Very nice, everybody. And then let's slowly release.
No, good.
Oh, sorry. Yes, that's turned. Thank you, Sylvega. That's turned out 90 degrees. I was trying to give everybody a break here, but because we could go another. We can turn it again. So let's spread the hand wide. Try to spread your hand wide. Stretch your fingers. Drop the left shoulder down and lift the left elbow, and then roll that left shoulder, upper forearm out as you roll the bottom of the forearm in. Sometimes it helps to even have someone go and actually do the two movements for you with their hands, just to create that sensation of double action. So stretch your hands, feel the hand knuckles connecting, dropping the shoulder, lifting the elbow. Good. And then let's release. So since we're standing, let's do another downward dog with the ropes. No blocks this time. So let's cross the ropes. Take your right foot, you're holding with the left rope, turning away from the wall, and bring the left foot into the rope. Come forward, so we're creating that resistance here. There's no slack in the ropes. Take the heels to the wall, halfway up the wall. Maybe start to take your heels a little down a little further if you feel you're ready for that. Or maybe bringing your heels a little closer together. And then we're not using the logs, we're just working the legs primarily now. So let's press those heels actively to the wall to ignite the legs, to intelligize the legs. So in this pose, we want the outer heels to connect. We want the toes turning ever so slightly in so that the outer feet are parallel with the mat. And there's an internal rotation at the head of the femur bone, on the inner thigh, and the outer hip is also drawing back. The front of the thigh is also drawing back. And as we press through the heels, we lift through the armpit chest, trying to stretch the chest towards the palms. Actively pressing the palms to the floor. Spreading those hands we just opened. See if you can feel a sense of pressing down between your middle and index thumb knuckle. That helps to intelligize those inner upper forearms, and then we actively draw the outer forearms in to create that uniting action. Pressing through the heels. Lower ribs to the hips. Let's take the sits bones down to the heels. Stillness in the mind. Let the breath perform its magic. Let's take the right hand to the left leg. And as you look to the left underarm, let's press through the right heel and lift through the armpit chest. So lift the chest. Looking underneath that left underarm. Let's take the right hand back to meet the left. And let's press to the left heel as we take the left hand to the right leg, looking underneath the right armpit. So taking a break if you need to at any time, guys. No worries here. Breathing deeply, full body breaths. Left hand back to meet the right. Let's come up onto the fingertips. Stretch your arms as far forward as you can. And then let's walk the hands to the feet to the hands. How's everybody doing here?
And that weekend.
Now we grab the chairs. Okay? So everybody grab the chairs. Everybody's also going to need one extra mat. So grab yourself a mat. Here you go, lovely. Thank you. Here. Thank you, Mama. You're welcome. Put it this one. There we go. Grab yourself an extra mat.
You have an instrument. See that top mat? Take it and put it on the chair.
Let's hold the mat on the floor. Open the chair. We're going to place the chair with the back of the chair against the wall, but just give it about 4 inches so that we can do like so. So we bring the chair about 4 inches from the wall, hold the mat on the floor. we're going to place the mat over the back of the chair. Okay? Perfect. So, do the best you can. See if you can try and align that left foot so it's not turning out, but head straight forward and take your right leg on top of the arm of the chair. Now, if this is too high for you, use a bolster. You can easily use a bolster. This is better because we're working toward releasing that right hip, and we don't want to be having the pose lift the right hip. So try to find your ideal spot where you can take your right leg and support the right leg without pulling that right hip up. And then the left foot is facing forward, and this hip is on top of the ankle. We don't want the left foot back behind the hip. So try to stack and align the joints, and then start to feel a sense of pulling that right hip down towards the inner left heel. So just let that right hip drop. If you need the ropes, you've got the ropes, ladies and gentlemen, if you need them. But let's try not to use the ropes. Okay? So Michael, yeah, just bring your mat on. Okay, that's good enough. Good. So the first cue, let's lift that right kneecap up. Pull up through the right kneecap, press out through the right heel. So again, pull up through the right kneecap, press out through the right heel, and then spread the toes wide. So engage the foot, intelligize your foot, reaching through the heel, spreading the toes, that right kneecap and thigh are lifting. Now let's start to release that right hip down as we talked about. So work toward taking that right hip down so that both sides of the spine are equal, so that we're not shorting the right side. Let's just take the hands up, straight up. So reach the arms up, and let's flex the wrists so that we can take the palms flat to the ceiling. So I'm flexing my wrists so that the palms are facing straight up. See if you can work your fingers. Work your fingers. Good. And now let's take the fingers straight up. So reach your hands straight up, and let's turn the palms behind us. So the thumbs will be turning out. Very nice. Let's do that again. Let's flex the palms up towards the sky. So press to the left heel, reach, and push those palms up. Reach and stretch up. And now turn your palms towards the back of the room. The thumbs open out to the sides. Nicely done, everybody. Good job. Let's bend the elbows and take the hands behind the back of the neck. And just press your head into your wrists. Looking straight ahead. Let's drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Drop those shoulders down in the back. So we're still opening through the front of the armpit chest. And we're using the back of the neck. We're strengthening the back of the neck by pressing the head into the hands. The right hip is releasing towards the inner left heel. And in fact, that inner left heel is reaching and creating that union with the right hip. So it's a universal connection. The right hip is drawing to the heel, and the heel is reaching towards the right hip. We create this connection between those two areas. Very nice. Let's stretch the arms straight up again. Let's link the thumbs, pull the thumbs away from each other to open that armpit chest. And now let's take the right arm back, left arm forward as we twist. Drop your right hip. Nicely done, everybody. Drop the shoulders, lift the elbows. So try to draw that left thigh straight back. Feel the left standing leg working here. Very nice. Let's lift the arms back up as we turn towards the wall. Lift and lengthen, pressing through that left heel. And then let's hinge from the hip as we fold forward. So if you want to grab your straps, it's fine. But let's focus on lifting through the crease of the armpit chest, pushing through the right heel, spread the toes. Starting to do all of these different actions together as one. Breathe deeply, full body breaths if you can. Very nice. And then let's slowly release that right foot. We're going to grab the right foot. So if you need the wall, grab the wall. Let's grab the right foot and bring the inner thighs together so the knees are touching. This is the connection here. If the knees are not connecting, there's nothing happening. Feel your inner thighs squeeze together and stick your buttocks out. So that left hip is on top of the left ankle. Good. Squeeze your inner thighs together. See if you can draw your outer hips in. Outer hips in. Squeeze your thighs together. Good job, you guys. Squeeze your thighs together. See if you can keep your thighs together and release your right foot. That's it. So squeeze. Oh. Lower ribs to the hips. Good job, you guys. And let's release. Nice. Let's go to the other side. So let's take the left foot. You may find that the two legs do not necessarily correspond with each other. They may feel like completely different units. So just give it some time. Let's start to engage the first cue here. So lift the left kneecap and the top of the thigh up. Press out through the left heel. Spread the toes wide. So we lift the left kneecap up and we lift the top of the left thigh up and we press through the left heel. So we don't release the left thigh and kneecap, lifting as we move to the next cue. We continue to add, reaching through the heels, spreading the toes wide, releasing that left hip down towards the inner right heel. The right thigh is drawing straight back. The inner right heel is reaching up to the left hip. So we create that connection so that the sides of the spine are equal here. And then let's reach the arms up and let's flex the palms. So we're trying to press the palms flat to the ceiling, shoulders down away from the ears, and as we tighten the muscles of those arms around the bone. And this will help to straighten the arms and drop the shoulders down as you reach through the palms. So there's usually several actions working together. They may be opposing actions, but they are still working together as one to unite the body. Let's turn the palms as we reach and lengthen. Press through the right heel, lift and lengthen. Try to turn your thumbs out. Try to tighten the muscles of those arms around the bone if you can to straighten the elbows. Let's flex the hands. Reach and flex. Turn the palms back, opening the thumbs away from each other. Let's bring the hands behind the back of the neck. So dropping the shoulders down, let's lift the elbows up. Shoulders down in the back of the body, the front armpit chest is still open. And the muscles of the upper forearms are working to tighten around the bone, pressing through the head, so that we create this resistance of the back of the neck working. The gaze is neutral. Let's reach the arms up, link the thumbs as you pull your hands away from each other. Lift as you stretch up. Lifting and lengthening. Right arm forward, left arm back. Drop the shoulders down, lift the elbows up. So even though we're twisting to the left, these left ribs are turning in towards the right ribs. So the ribs are containing the spine as we lift and lengthen through that spine. The side transverse muscles help that action of lifting the spine up into extension. The official back bend of the spinal column. Let's lift the arms up, lift and lengthen. Try to let that hip be soft, dropping to the inner right heel as you fold forward. Create that hinge from the left hip as you lift and lengthen through the front of the body. Feel free to grab your ropes. Releasing that left hip, and right thigh draws back. Breathe deeply every full body breath. Try to let the mind go now. Good job. And then let's slowly release that left leg. If you need to, take the wall. Let's take the left foot. Draw the inner thighs together so the knees are touching. Squeeze your inner thighs together, stick your buttocks out. So this is where we start to go a little wrong. When we stick the buttocks out, we poke the lower ribs out. So releasing those lower ribs gently to the hips. See if you can squeeze your inner thighs together. Inner thighs together. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Outer hips in. Breathing deeply. Full body breaths if you can. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Good job, everybody. See if you can release the leg without letting the inner thighs move away from each other. Squeezing your heel. Good. And then that's released. Let's take the mat on top of the chair. And let's take the chair so that the handle is on the left. Now, for some of you, if you're super, super short like I am, your right foot won't even come to the floor. That's why I've grabbed a little prop. I'm just going to demonstrate. So we're going to take the right leg over the chair. And you see how my hip is way outside of the knee? The work is to make this thigh parallel to the outside of the mat. And we're sitting as far back in the chair. You can see my foot doesn't come to the floor, so I'm just taking a block underneath, okay? And then, so we want to come like so. And make your right leg as parallel to the outside of the mat as you can. And make sure your shin is drawn right in. That's it. Now take a look at the second part. Great, you're going to love this. So just do your best to lift that left leg and stretch that left leg. And then you see how I've got my hands like this? I'm going to start to twist away, pressing through that left toe. So take your left leg back. That's it. I've got my elbow in, and I'm twisting out to the side. So the right thigh is rolling out, and the torso is twisting in this action. So take the right elbow, Michael, like so. Inside the... There we go. So now that thigh won't roll in either. Don't take the hand in. Use the chair arm right here. There we go. Now twist, turn your torso, press through your left heel. Press through your right heel. Very nice. So the right thigh is rolling out. You're pressing through the outer feet. Yeah. And the torso is turning in the opposite direction. You can see how, Michael, your hips are moving away. If you could bring your hips a little forward, or your pubic bone in more. So take the whole right sits bone in, and take your right foot out, away. Walk it away. Yes. So you see your body just doesn't want to do it. That's okay. Now take your right elbow a little further in. Yeah. Up here more. There we go. Do you feel the difference?
Yes.
Yes. Nicely done. So you see you're externally rotating that right thigh out, and the torso is twisting in the opposite direction. That's it. See if you can take your left hand to your left hip and open your left shoulder. That's it. Pressing through the outer feet.
That's torture.
It is, isn't it? All right, enough torture. Let's slowly release. Look at me. See how I'm going to sit here? I'm going to sit facing forward. Huh? Nicely done. And then let's come out of the chair. And let's turn the chair to the other side. Nicely done, everybody. Did you feel that? Yeah? Right on. Okay. Very nice. So the ticket here is to not, Michael, you see how your hip was sticking way out? So you see your hips were back. So the hips need to be forward. All right, so try and get your left leg so that everything is really parallel. Your shrimp, and see how the shin is actually touching the chair. So turn the chair, that girl. And now bring your left leg over the chair. But other way, come around. So this is the front of your mat. So come around to the back, facing forward. That's it. Nice. Now bring your left leg over the chair.
That which is left.
Right leg back. And now let's take the right leg back. So lift that right leg. Just stretch that right leg back as far as you can. Reach that right leg back. And then plant the foot. Let's take the left arm. And let's start to twist. Pressing through the outer feet if you can. So you see the left thigh is rolling this way. And the torso is going in the opposite direction. Ooh, doesn't this feel great, guys? So press through the back heel. That's the director. Very nicely done, everybody. So we're hugging that left shin into the chair. The left heel is pressing down. The left thigh is rolling out. And the torso is rolling this way. The right foot is working actively, pressing down. And then let's take the right hand to the right hip, opening your right shoulder. So press that right heel. Feel that stretch in the groin. That's it. And then to release, you're going to come and face forward. Nicely done, everybody. So we're going to come and just take a downward dog with the rope. Just to remove all of the memory of this mistake of this time. So let's cross the ropes. Right foot through the hand in the left. Turning away from the wall as you thread your left foot through the rope. Let's come forward. So this time, see if you can bring your heels a little closer together, a little lower, if you're working on a serious practice. If you're new to the practice, then just have your feet high so that the hips are high. Because we want that waterfall spine. We want that back bend. Let your mind go. Let the breath start to lead the effort here. So press through your heels. Find the back of your heels. Actively press your heels to the wall. So we're pressing those heels down. The sits bones are dropping down towards the heels. The lower ribs are drawing towards the hips. And we're inhaling, lengthening the crease of the armpit chest forward so that we lengthen the spinal column, removing any memories of the twist in the spine. So the spine is now neutral, effort. So if your mind is communicating with you, try to let your mind go. Just say, mind, did I ask for your opinion? Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the moment of the breath. Thank yourself for the effort. Great study came out last night, I think it was released, saying that feeling grateful for something in your life has a huge component of happiness associated with it. Huge component. Very nice. Let's slowly walk the hands to the feet, feet to the hands. So we're going to do a supported back bend with the chair. So let's take the chair this time. There's a component of fear associated with it, I suppose. So if you want to start with your chair closer to the wall and then work your chair in, that's totally fine. But you can see I'm placing my chair at least a couple of feet away from the wall, and then I place the bolster so that it is nice and erect against the chair. So Michael, this one might be a little tricky for you because you're tall. We'll see how it goes, all right? We'll see how it goes. So take a look, everybody. This is an important part. Otherwise, you're going to have flying chair. So take your heels to the chair. The balls of the feet are pressing down onto the floor. The hands are here because you see how you want to go like this? If you do this, your heels will not be working. So lift your arms, lean your head back, and press your heels. So you press your heels to lift your hips. Press your heels to lift your hips. And then take the hands to the wall. So I'm going to help you, Michael, just for a second. See if you can just lean your head back. So follow the cues. Now press your heels, lift your hips. That's it. Take your hands to the wall. Good. So now you know you can bring the chair further away from the wall. Good job. But you have to work your feet, okay? The minute you take your hands down, the legs don't participate anymore. So move your chair away from the wall. So you can see Wendy's got a beautiful back bend. Linda, move your chair away from the wall. Can you think you can go again? You're going to really press your heels, lift your hips. Lift the hips first, very nice. And then stretch the arms back. Good. Press your heels. Very nicely done. So when you come down, do not let your heels release. That's it. And then we start to walk the hands down the wall. Coming into eventually Virabhadrasana. But it's the action of the legs in the back bend that we're looking for. So pressing your heels. Pressing your heels. eventually I can take the chair away. That's it. Whoever laughed is enlightened. Good job. Woo!
We doing next one.
All right, so come down, take a break.
We doing
So you, my love in the green, you can move your chair away now. So,
Jen?
Jen, give it a shot, move your chair away. Come on, move your chair away from the wall. Yeah, just a bit. Girl, there go again. Now watch this. Heels pressing through the balls of the feet. Girl, good job with the mat.
That's what young ones.
So lift the hips, lean your head back, press your heels, lift your hips. That girl. And now start to walk your hands down the wall. Good job. Nicely done.
Very ambitious.
She can do it. She just did. Good job. So see if you can do one more back bend. Typically we want to do at least 3, but we're just exploring the pose today. Feel your legs working. That's the action in Urdhvanurasana. The legs are the ticket. If you can really stretch, really work the arms and legs. So Veda, no trotting with the self. No opinions anymore. I heard about 20 coming up.
No, I'm sick.
That a girl. So we feel the enlightenment coming with the back bends, eh? There's something really freeing about this. Good job. Okay, what do you think we should do next with the chair? Put the chair away?
No, not for me.
Okay. All right, well let's put the chair away then.
Can I do?
You can do, yes. You can keep your chair and do the quarter round.
Yeah.
All right,
Are we getting to them?
that's a good question. I have one more pose I'd like to come down. So everybody, yes, move your chair. Let's all take the chair back. You're going to do what you want right now.
Okay.
Perfect. We have something else we're going to do.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm very two chairs. I'm writing those.
I am in the.
Too sunny in your patch.
Hello.
Sorry.
Hello. Supta Padagustasana, everybody take a peek here. So it's up to you if you want to use the block underneath the hip. It's more advanced, it's a deeper stretch. It's great, but if you have an SI issue or anything like that with your lower back, you might maybe think about it. Okay, so here it goes. It's so much fun. Let's have the knees bent. We're going to open the right groin. So take a look here. We bend the knees, take the full block slightly, just slightly underneath the left butt box cheek. And then we take our happy strap, our loop. Remember that loop that we set earlier? And we're going to straighten the leg out to the side, and the right heel is pressing to the wall. And we want to keep both sides of the pelvis even Steven if we can. So we only let that left leg drop so far as the right thigh is dropping as well. If you feel the block is too much, no block. Just take the block away and let's have the right arm out to the side and you can support the left leg with a bolster. So either one is your choice today. The more advanced one is obviously the one with the block underneath the hip.
Can you take a look at the position of the block?
Well,
I'm not sure how to.
let me see. Are you feeling, yeah, that looks good. You want to open the left leg, go. There we go. Open the left leg, that's it, even more. Open that left leg.
So that means the right buttock is off the ground.
That's right, you're feeling it.
Okay.
It's a stretch in the right groin. You got it.
Okay.
Yes, do you feel that more now? So Ali, see if you can get your hands into the loop of the left, because it's going to make a big difference for you. You're gonna feel yourself tip. You want to tip a little more to the left. That a girl. Right arm out. Nice. Big difference, right? Good. Michael, nice job. That was the right choice for you. Do you see why? Very good choice. Good job. So you're working your inner left thigh to the inner knee, the inner left shin to the inner ankle, and you're pressing the right heel to the wall so the right thigh is dropping down. That's it. So take the strap in your, girl. I should give you a phone block, but anyway, you're good, good. You're getting a bit of a stretch in the right thigh. So try to walk that right heel down the wall. That a girl, straighten the leg. Get the right heel all the way down if you can. Oh, I know, tricky, eh? That a girl. Okay, good job. So either the bolster supports the leg and the right arm is out to the side. So the right biceps are drawing down and the triceps are lifting up. And we're working the legs here, reaching through the heels, feeling the effort of the thighs around the bone. And I'm working to keep this right side connected to the floor. So I don't want those right ribs poking. I want to keep a nice neutral spine so that I'm working from the center of my buttocks. Not tipping to one side or the other. Very nice, everybody. So I don't want to keep you here too long. Let's lift the left leg up and see if you can keep that left leg where it is as you press through the right heel. So we are pulling this left hip down towards the inner right heel. You can play either taking the right arm overhead if you like. Right overhead behind that, so you got it. So you're pressing through the right heel, feeling the right side of the body dropping down like a knife. The left hip is drawing to the inner right heel. So Supta Padangusthasana. Feeling the center of the buttocks. So obviously at some point, if it's suitable, we are taking the middle index finger around the big toe knuckle, and the left foot is coming over the left shoulder. And then let's bend the left leg, just release your strap. See if you can take your hands behind the back of the left thigh, drawing the right thigh down. So again, working from the center of your buttocks. Feel both sides of your sacrum, release your shoulders down away from your ears. That right thigh is drawing straight down. The inner right leg is cutting the floor like a knife. The outer right leg, the same. The left sits bone is tucking in and under. And the two actions of reaching through the right heel and tucking that left sits bone take place together. So we feel this sense of union of those two actions. Dropping the shoulders. So we're always lifting through that crease of the front arm to chest. Just the backs release down. The shoulders release down the back of the body. Let's take the left leg to meet the right. Let's interlace the palms, reaching the palms overhead. So working from the center of your buttocks, take your sits bones to your heels. everybody breathe deeply into full body breaths. So the time to let go of that ongoing chatter, that ongoing dialogue is now. Try to let the mind start to release. And just let the mind be open. The breath is leading the effort now. So let's now take the block behind the right buttocks cheek if you're using the block. And then let's take the strap around the foot. And the left heel is to the wall. And let's open the right leg. So as we take the left leg down, we take the right leg down in unison so that we're staying in that sense of both sides of the pelvis being even and neutral. Otherwise, you're using the bolster underneath the outer right thigh. And you can see how my left ribs want to poke out. So it's a challenging pose. Working toward keeping both of the hips level. Levelized, if that's the word. Both thighs are at the same height. So as the left leg drops down, we drop the right leg down, working the inner right thigh to the knee, the inner right ankle to the foot. So we're lengthening through the inner right leg, out through the heels, both legs. Nicely done, everybody. Let's slowly lift that right leg back up. And we're just taking the left arm overhead. Try to pull your right hip to your left heel. So we're working from the center of our buttocks. So both hips are level. One hip isn't higher. You don't want to shorten that right side of the spine. Imagine standing on that left leg. And this right hip is drawing to the inner left heel, and eventually this right foot is coming over the right shoulder. And we can interlace the index and middle finger to do that, but without pulling through the right hip. You want to torque that right SI joint. Supine Gustasana can actually cause trouble for the lower back if we torque the SI joint. Just working from your center. Nice breathing, everybody. And then let's bend the right knee and just take the right thigh to the chest. So we tuck the right sits bone in and under as we press through the left heel, lifting through the side, arm to chest. So lift and lengthen through the sides of the body and relax the shoulders away from the ears. So tuck your right sits bone, press through the left heel. Feel that sense of the two things working together as one effort. Feel that yoking, that union. Let the breath unite the body, let the mind be still. Let's draw the left knee in to meet the right, and let's take the arms out to the T position. Drop your knees to the left. Left hand on top of the right thigh. As you inhale, lift the chest, looking to the right. And then let's release that left hand. Let's lift the knees up through center and over to the right. As you take your right hand on top of the left thigh, lift your chest away from your hips as you look to the left. Let's take the left hand over to the right and just press yourself up here. We're going to take Adho Mukha Virasana, child's pose with the arms extended forward, feet together, knees wide. We're measuring the distance between our hands and feet so that we can take the final downward dog. So Adho Mukha Virasana, everybody. Lift your kneecaps. See if you can press your palms to the floor and pull the sides of the body back. Press your heels down. Shoulders away from the ears as you draw the outer forearms in to lock those shoulders down. So lift your kneecaps, lift the tops of the thighs. Press through the balls of the feet and then widen through the base of the foot as you lengthen through the back of the heel. Making the heel narrower and narrower. Lower ribs to the hips. That's it. Breathe deeply. Allow the body to find this new place. We worked hard to create it. Let's drop the knees down. We're going to come into our final rest now, Shavasana. So just bring a blanket behind the back of the head. And let's bring the bolster. So it's behind the backs of the legs like so. So the buttocks is actually touching the bolster. And then we can take the blocks to support the calves. So, it's coming into our final rest. Not a long time. So take a moment and tuck those shoulders in and under and just allow the mind to release with the body. And just close the eyes and focus on that third eye, the Ajna chakra. This is the most powerful chakra of all 8. So just focusing on that light, that third eye, visualizing the the light that comes from that chakra. And if anything negative is left over in the body, let it travel up and out through the Ajna chakra, continuing on out to the crown of the head. The Ajna chakra is the ultimate cleanser of all that is negative. It's allowing any last negative energy to travel up and out through the Ajna chakra, the ultimate cleanser. And then just allow the mind to be peaceful, resting with the body in that place where we are just the witness now. There's no doing. This is just a happening. Let's bring the hands to the belly. And just returning back to your breath now. Let's draw the knees to the chest. And rolling to your right, let's use the left hand and the right elbow to press you up. And let's come and take a final easy seated position.
I was in total bliss.
I am so glad. Catch that last ray of sunshine. Can you close us? Okay, good job. All right, so let's take one last stretch as we reach the arms up. Look up from your sits bones. Feel that length through the sides of the body, everybody. We worked very hard this morning to create it. Bring your hands into prayer and just take a moment and thank yourself for the effort. Genuinely thank yourself for making your way to yoga. And then thank you for allowing me to get here.
Susan.
Namaste, everybody.
Namaste.
Oh,
Right on. Good
It's
job,
brighter.
everybody.
my eyes are brighter.
So am I, for having you here, that's for certain.